Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick called THC poison for CBS Texans.
We called it poison and then medicine for HB46. So, like, which is it? Is it medicine or is it poison?
What was the deal with that? With them holding HB46 hostage in place of the SB3 or whatever?
No. It was they were not holding SB3 hostage. They were holding
vice versa. Yeah.
They were holding teacher pay, a teacher bill, and a student bill hostage for 46. So basically, 46 was it all came back. But what they did was they held that hostage, and they made the House wipe off the vapes and all about 6 qualifying conditions. So they made them take them off, but they ended up coming back and they got
chronic
passed.
pain.
Chronic pain. So like PTSD, and it doesn't have to be diagnosed.
But correct me if I'm wrong though. You still have to go see a doctor. You still have to be on a prescription for 90 days or 3.
No, a year.
A year.
I have a script. I've done the process because I wanted to make sure if I was going to advocate for it or against it.
Right.
I wanted to know.
Yeah.
So I went and got it. It's funny because it's just about money. So you sign up for one of these places. They're online. You pay $150. The guy calls you, answer 3 questions, and then you get a script. Easy as that.
So you're saying that I guess the way for it to remain legal is through
right. It's gonna right now if he does sign the bill, that's one of the things that we've hedged over. We're buying a company called Innovative Health Solutions. Right now it's ran by Dr. Stanton Shoemaker, and that's exactly what we're gonna do because I already processed hash, and hash was one of the products listed, or one of the vape products one of the products that can be turned into a vape, a medicinal vape, per law, because the law 46 states that if it's a vape product, it has to be full plant, no additives, no terpenes, no nothing. And we already make a dope ass rosin. So. We're set.
Plug. Go to the camera, bro.
I got my car, bro.
Zoom in on that.
Like we were talking earlier. Do you know why weed is illegal? Like how it got illegal?
No.
From 1930s, dude. It was from racism.
Racism, yep.
Seriously?
Yeah.
For real.
It was from this dude.
From the 1930s.
So think about it. Historically, where was cannabis coming from? And I don't like to call it weed or marijuana because
I don't know. South America?
Yeah, so do I.
No,
Mexico, dude.
Mexico. So historically, people that look like me controlled this market.
Oh.
So now that when I go to BizCon, I'm like 1% of the population there. Most people don't look like me that are big in the cannabis industry.
Right.
It's all, you already know. You know
Wow.
what I mean? It's all driven by it. It was a control tactic because they knew there's no way they could outproduce the west coast of Mexico.
What?
So this is from the 1930s from the Federal Bureau of Narcotics, and the dude named Henry J. Assinger.
Yep.
And he was the one that came up with this whole thing, and then I also did the thing, Reefer Madness, and it was saying to white communities that Hispanics and blacks were
smoking it. They used white women actually.
Yeah.
They used white women. White women won't smoke it and they want to go sleep with a brown guy.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah.
This is all accurate fact. This all happened.
So that's one way for them to control the market, I guess.
So look, I wrote the quote. The quote is smoking reefer makes darkies think they're as good as white men. And this is from 1930s. Okay, so when you talk about, because I don't know if I have 2 podcasts, and I'm a amateur historian, and I do shows on paranormal conspiracies, cryptids, all that jazz. So history is kind of my jam, right? So like, if you think about it historically and generational speaking, when this became illegal, you have them. And the older generation of that, we're only one generation out, the people who were taught that marijuana, cannabis is bad.
Is bad.
Is
Yeah,
this
it was
is
a
this
medicine.
reefer madness?
It was medicine till
Oh my God,
1930.
wow.
Yeah, it was,
It was prevalent. It was used widely in this country as
and
medicine.
it was used in sacraments. It was used in rituals. It was used
But why would they demonize it to begin with?
because
But
of
it's not just racism, but it was also a part of the oil and gas establishment pushing pharmaceuticals. This all still stems from the using
The medicinal, like,
fossil fuels
Yeah.
I was mentioning.
for pharmaceuticals.
and then it was also the paper industry and the lumber industry
Right.
after 1930s.
so it was a threat to their industries.
Well,
Yeah.
it was a threat to industries, but it was all about money. It was about like who came out on top.
Oh,
So look at who's that
Wow.
oil and gas giant from the early 1900s, Rockefeller. Look up that guy because he needed to push byproducts of making fuels, and the byproducts were these compounds that they could use for pharmacology.
Yeah.
mm,
So if cannabis was the number one, I guess home remedy, that's how he eliminated it, and the racism was the muscle of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
if they had those extra compounds that they could make medicinal, right? And then they would let hemp thrive or whatever you call it, then they would have to figure out how to put all that to waste. You know what I mean?
Right,
It
right.
wouldn't be put to use and stuff like that. That's just where mine.
And that's why
My
it's
mind is
still
going-
illegal, because it's a disruptor. Because most people cannot grow their medicine. You know what I mean? Think about how you eliminate so many industries.
What do you
like-
mean most people can't grow their medicine? Like
This year's hilarious.
they're
you
not
can't-
capable, or like
You're not growing aspirin. You're not growing any of that, but you can grow weed.
Right.
You know what I mean?
but isn't there like natural normal stuff like that can work as an aspirin?
Oh, absolutely,
Well, like, obviously-
absolutely.
Actually, all the weeds, all our native weeds, are super medicinal.
Wow, man.
Why do you think they developed Roundup?
What
Think about that.
Nah, dude.
Is it
They're in the
like,
bushes, man. You make me
right?
think
I
of
mean,
that, dude.
dandelion roots are like the best for like your heart.
Dandelion roots, yeah.
Dandelions, the milkweed, that weed that has that real distinctive smell, like it almost smells like weed, and it has like
It looks like
thorns on
weed,
it.
right?
It
They-
kinda
I
looks
think
like weed, but it has-
somebody's house in Flower Bluff got raided for that a couple years ago. I swear to God, I heard
It
that
looks like
story.
weed and it's prickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you break that open, it delivers a white milk, and it's as good as opium.
Wow.
Yeah, and then you got lemongrass or lemongrass
Right.
tea. You got all of these. I mean,
Natural,
if,
dude.
If you want to go super historical on it, man. Like I got like 5 or 6 textbooks on Native American medicinal
Holy
like
smokes, dude.
like remedies you can do at the house.
Dude, I can definitely see how the
Hell yeah.
pharmaceutical industry could benefit off of
Well, they
man-made medicines.
especially if all the compounds are oil and gas derived,
Mhm.
fossil fuel derived.
And like she's saying, it's a never-ending cycle. Like, well, this is gonna have side effects, so you got to take this one. You
Another
gotta take
pill,
this one.
another
Yeah.
pill, another
So
pill.
man-made medicine should be for acute illness. Like if you're about to die, take the pill.
Right.
You know what I mean? But for chronic illness, you should be on. You should take a more naturopathic approach. You should be on herbs and spices, not on pills.
Chronic illness, something you're gonna have for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
like,
something you shouldn't be taking a pill because most people that
I
get diagnosed
have notes on that too.
most people that get diagnosed
Be
with chronic illness,
prepared.
they don't die from the chronic illness. They die from kidney and liver failure.
mm,
So,
And
like,
that's
golly, bro.
so we're talking about epilepsy, IBS, multiple sclerosis, Tourette's sclerosis, Huntington's disease, Parkinson's disease, dementia, glaucoma, TBI, normal addiction, anxiety, depression, sleep disorders, PTSD, and schizophrenia. These are all things that it can be limited on your.
Bro, this is just sad, man. This is making me sad, bro. Like humanity just freaking.
it's all about money.
God,
It is all about money. Yeah, it's all about money.
Wow.
Money's man-made too.
Control.